Hello, my name is Joy Ravella and I'm the host of the Everyday Joy podcast. My word, we are up to so many episodes here on this podcast, and I'd encourage you to go back and listen to Bible verses that cover the same topics or themes. It's a really great way to get different perspectives on issues that you are walking through right now. Now, maybe for you, you just need some extra prayer, some support. You need to be wrapped around community, and I'd highly encourage you to connect in with 89.9 The Light. This is the radio station that the podcast comes under. In fact, 89.9 The Light is a Christian radio station that's been operating in Melbourne for over 20 years now. We've got a little bit of everything, and every single hour, at the start of each hour, we begin with a Bible verse. And it's the same Bible verse that's released on the podcast. So for example, today's Bible verse, if it was released today, would be the same verse you would hear on air. So I'd encourage you to listen into that station so you can get 24/7 wraparound support. Right now though, let's get into today's Bible verse.
Jesus said, "Love your enemies, let them bring out the best in you, not the worst. When someone gives you a hard time, respond with the energies of prayer." That's from Matthew chapter 5, verse 44, the Message version.
I have got Jen here in studio with me. Hello, Jen.
Hello.
We've had some great conversations yesterday and the day before, actually. A couple of things I would love to encourage you to do listening is to head on over to our Facebook page and to be a part of the group. It's a really great community there with some extra questions as well, to get the most out of every conversation, I think, because it's just wonderful when you hear other perspectives and other thoughts on the subject. And today's a biggie. Like, I have had people spread rumors about me and it's not nice. And I think that's one of the things that jumps out at me with this verse is when someone gives you a hard time, I think for me, it's so hard to respond with the energies of prayer because my energy goes into comebacks and rebuttals and plans and revenge. I never actually act out the revenge part, but I like to imagine it.
Yes.
What I would do. And I find myself 15 minutes into a car drive into work and I'm like, I've just spent the last 15 minutes just in a completely different scenario. And I've just wasted time. And so sometimes I have to literally pull the handbrake and say, God, I'm now going to pray for the rest of this journey. Yes. Because my natural inclination in this season is to go back and just think about things that aren't helpful. But yeah, handbraking it and then pivoting and moving towards a prayerful pathway is what I often have to do. Doesn't happen automatically.
No.
What about you, Jen?
I'm very, very similar to you. I will spend literally like the first 10 minutes in the shower going, I should have said that. Why didn't I say that? Why are they so mean? I need to put revenge. God, strike that person down. Really, really don't strike that person down, God. It's such a challenging verse. And it's so hard to do physically, but I think it's a really good, again, a reminder verse to be like, you know what? I need to pray for that person. I need to pray for me. I need to pray for that person. I need to get through this.
Yeah.
This is what God wanted me to be.
And you know, often what happens, as much as I hate it, but when I pray for someone, I don't, be careful how you pray, because I used to read this verse and think, oh, I can just basically rant to God. You know, and that's a good thing to do, absolutely. But I think there's a difference when you rant versus pray. Because I can say, God, this and that. But prayer is, Lord, help me to see this person differently. Yeah. Lord, what do I not know about my own behavior? Is there something I need to change? Lord, help me to forgive. And it's a completely different conversation to a rant. And so I think that's something that this tells me about God is that that prayer isn't just a conversation. It's not just a rant. It's not just let me go through and verbally process. Prayer is it's a holy activity. Yeah. It's a spiritual discipline. And when you bring that conversation and that thought into the arena of prayer, it changes the way you talk about it. Yeah. And I think we need to be open to allowing that to happen. So I think that's what this tells me about what matters to God and how we should pray and how we should address these situations.
Yeah.
What about you?
I see love. I see God teaching us love and not to hate. It's very easy to go straight to the defensive side, and you want to protect your heart because you're hurt.
Yeah.
And I love what you said about prayer, because prayer is such a precious thing, because we're taking something to God.
Yeah.
And taking that thing to God means that I want to spend that special time, that precious time with God. And I'm talking about someone who did me wrong. You're uplifting that person. You're letting God know this person is hurting. We don't hate. We don't hate on purpose. There's a reason why that person's going through that thing and put you through that thing.
Yeah, yeah. And often it is that case, hurt people hurt people.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Have you got a story of how this has come alive in your world?
I have. Now, this is back in high school. I had a group of 6 friends, and I had a friend that just floated everywhere. I thought she was a friend, but she started spreading rumors about me, and I just didn't know why. So I actually confronted her. I'm like, why are you spreading rumors? Why are you telling lies about me? And she goes, well, I think you're fake. I think you're an imposter, because no one can be as nice as you. I have to call you out. And so I was confused. I'm like, how can someone be too nice? So I thought,
of all the things for people to hate about you.
Yes. I thought maybe my hair or the way I dress. No, it was because I was nice. So instead of hating on her and spreading rumors and doing the same thing she did, I was nice to her. I became a good friend of her. I ended up helping her out. She was struggling in school, so I helped her with her assignments. She was struggling with just having a group of friends, so I invited her with my friends as well.
Wow.
Towards the end of the high school year, we were really close friends, and it really helped her out. And so this is my example of where I treated someone who didn't like me, who showed me hate, and I showed them what a nice person can be. I showed them what a God servant should do.
And you know what? I think based on what you've said about her, I think she just couldn't understand that level of kindness and that level of, I know that I've had people say kind of similar things to me as well. They're like, well, there's obviously something going on under the surface. You can't be that happy all the time. And I'm like, no, I definitely have down days.
Yeah.
But I have an everlasting joy. I have a faith in Jesus. I have a hope that that meets me wherever I am, and it means I can face the day in a different way than maybe someone who doesn't have that belief faces the day. So it's just amazing that in that time, especially when you were at high school, when you could have really just been like, well, no thanks, you chose to include her and to show her that who you are is who you are. You're not faking it. And I think that's so beautiful, because you did this, Jen. You responded with the energies of prayer. You responded in a way that's in line with God and what He asks of us to do. Yeah. So for someone listening right now who's maybe going through a difficult time. Now, I do want to caveat and say there are sometimes people you should stay away from and they're not exactly the best people for you to invite into your fold, especially if they have hurt you in the past and if you know that they just aren't safe. Exercise caution. You can still pray for them though. Yeah, still do that. But if maybe there's someone that you're like, I think there's a misunderstanding and I think we can build a bridge. What would be your thought or your advice to them?
Definitely pray first. Pray to God that you will be strong, that you will have the courage to be able to confront this person and ask them and sit down with them, buy them a cup of coffee and be like, hey, what's really going on? If they don't respond right, that's okay. You've done your part. You've done your godly part. God wants us to choose love. Let's choose love today.
What a Bible verse to focus on, right? Here's the thing. God's word has so much power. There's so much richness to it. And we can keep coming back to the same verse and finding more. It's like this never-ending well. There's so much water and life we can draw out from it. And I'd encourage you to head on over to the Everyday Joy Facebook community, because over there you are going to find some more ways to apply this verse. Now, you might also find some people that you connect with as well. It's a beautiful community and it's a space for you to just grow in your faith with real people and real stories serving an extraordinary God. The link to the Facebook group is in the description below. You've got to answer 2 questions to automatically be allowed into the group. So if you didn't get accepted, it's probably because you didn't say yes to both questions. So you can just go back and do that. Would love to catch up with you over there. Until next time.